Well, we keep saying that everything is different in 2020, and Thanksgiving certainly was no exception. Let's welcome Michael and Paul Brooks of Brooks Financial Group to share their experience. Hi, you two.
Doing great.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm so glad that you're here. Last time that we saw you, we were talking about the Turkey Bowl, our annual celebration. We always look forward to it on Thanksgiving Day, but of course with COVID-19 this year and the spikes, that was canceled for the first time in 100 years?
Well, yep. 100. This would have been the 101st match.
Oh my goodness. I know that was disappointing, but you guys were still able to celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday a different sort of way, or maybe the same way. Tell us how you spent the holiday.
I think for us it was I'm proud of the fact of what the schools did. I mean, they rallied and actually put on a show, and ABC, and we all as sponsors stuck with the program. So we aired last year's game, and then they did a bunch of interviews. I mean, that was all good. It was kind of a downer that we couldn't be with everybody. Obviously our schools and the game, and then of course I don't know what individuals did with their families, but I know we were on a much more strict protocol around Thanksgiving, and a house full of crazy Brooks people running around the place.
Yeah, I couldn't do that this year, a little bit smaller. But you're right, it was nice that we were still able to sort of revisit. And I mean, last year was such a milestone. I mean, 100 years of that tradition. No one was upset to be watching that again and carrying that on. As you reflect on 2020 and sort of the adversity that has been presented for all of us, how do you think that you guys adapted both as a family but also as a business?
Well, that's interesting, because I don't know that we have a line of demarcation between in our organization and family. I mean, we do absolutely see everybody that we're blessed to serve as family, and I'm pretty sure it's a mutual. So it is what we said it before. We couldn't play the game, but guess what? We have stayed true to our intentional communications and touches, and really driving our human quotient. And what we found, I mean, here's where we benefited. We're all humans. We all needed touch. And so we ramped up our standard communication, probably 1,000%, just because we know that those relationships we serve needed that touch as much as we needed that touch. So it was virtual. We just didn't give them a hug and a kiss. We just high-fived them over the laptop.
Yeah. But the feeling is still there. And I think you touched on that there's different opportunities that are presented to connect with each other in sort of a different way.
I think the resiliency, we kept meeting throughout the year as a team, and promoting perseverance and resiliency in our joy and in our spirit, because everyone throughout this year has felt the deficit. If you don't have human association and connectivity, you're going to be feeling a deficit. And so we were very mindful around that, to not just, execute in relationships, but to pursue growing those relationships. And so that growth mindset has made a difference. It's made a difference. It's like anything else. As you give anything, you actually receive back joy in the act of giving. And so when we put more effort and mindfulness into what we did, each player on this team and in this family, to uplift another life that's in our care and under our leadership, for their financial dreams and their financial goals, and their employee care. And so we took it very, very personal, as we always did. We just, as Paul's very, very appropriately had said, we just truly lasered in the focus and drove it.
And I know that extends to the Building for God Community Foundation. What else can we expect from that foundation, or is there anything that we should be touching on that might be on the horizon for this new year?
Yeah, we do. We were trying to decide how to do the Champion Life celebration, and we've decided we're not going to permit ourselves to fall off of our program. It's very important for these great charitable and civic leaders in our community that are just doing just unbelievably incredible work. They are such a blessing. And so we're going to pursue, Karen is in charge of putting together our Champion in Life celebration, and it's going to be of a virtual nature of some type, but different. We've probably all attended these things throughout the course of the year. Karen and her team have really come up with something very unique, and so we're going to have a lot of fun with it. And that'll take place in February, towards the end of February. We'll start to really broadcast the date once. I can't post it exactly because I'm waiting for permission.
That's okay. We'll take the sneak peek and you telling us early. So we appreciate that. Thank you both, Mike and Paul Brooks. We appreciate you being here, and we'll be right back with more Midday Maryland right after this. Stay tuned.
Thanks, Elsa.